I've never been a fan of gaming laptops. I spent a lot of the 2010 seconds having the luxury of testing various models from various manufacturers without the blinders of sunk cost fallacy, and they always basically fell into one of two categories. They weren't powerful enough to play PC games at high settings, making me wish I was using a more powerful, dedicated desktop machine. They were far too big, bulky, and heavy to actually carry around and use as a working laptop, making me wish I had a MacBook Pro with me instead. I have long been someone who has been very particular about where I do what. I juggle a gaming console, a desktop PC for PC gaming, and an aging but still relatively powerful and compact MacBook Pro for work on the go. I never play games on my laptop. I never write articles on my Xbox. It's been a long time since I've upgraded my real PC, and the graphics card, a workhorse GeForce GTX 1070, has struggled with the latest blockbusters. I certainly haven't been getting the best out of it for a while, especially since I upgraded my monitor. However, in the time I've been pondering over whether to shell out for an upgrade, the prices of new graphics cards have shot through the roof, due to a slew of circumstances. COVID, crypto, that Suez Canal thing. To add to this problem, my CPU and motherboard also need to be updated, and possibly my 10-year-old MacBook Pro as well. The idea of getting a gaming laptop to consolidate those needs isn't the worst idea in the world. It's been a couple of years since I've had a chance to go deep on a gaming laptop. But as chance would have it, Lenovo recently released a new range of Legion laptops designed for both high-performance gaming and work, and the company offered to loan me a Legion 5i Pro to take for a spin. The 5i Pro is the more affordable model that I would have considered given my circumstances. The more powerful sibling, the 7i, is about $1,000 or so more expensive, so I was keen to see whether contemporary gaming laptops, or at least the Legion range, had now evolved far enough to cater to my needs. Here is my hypothetical purchase. At the time of writing, the 5i Pro is available at Lenovo's official store for $1,300 down from an MSRP of $3,349. After 2 months of regular use, at home, on the train, in various pubs and cafes, and even camping, I was pleasantly surprised to find it capable of meeting my oddly versatile needs. The Legion 5i Pro is a great all-rounder. I still had a few quibbles, mostly regarding nitpicks in the design. But the idea of relying solely on a machine like the 5i Pro for both work and play is now a far more attractive option in my mind. Lenovo Legion 5i Pro Review, Build and Design. The svelte, professional build of the Legion 5i Pro immediately stands out, with its understated gunmetal styling. The company has long been associated with business laptops, the Lenovo ThinkPad especially, and the design of the Legion appears to mostly adopt the hallmarks of the smart look. Some angular elements hint at a degree of edginess that is typical of gaming laptops, but it certainly doesn't go as hard in this look as other manufacturers. The keyboard has RGB backlighting, but it's relatively dim and unassuming. Due to the personal taste of aesthetics, your mile may be different. For a laptop, however, I will work as much as video games. This is a great, balanced look. When I take it out and work on the train in front of excited teens, I never feel like I'm making a grand everyone's looking at me gamer statement, which is great because I've used this thing a lot on trains. When traveling for meetings or on weekends, I almost always carry my computer in my backpack. At 2.28 kilograms, the Legion 5i Pro is only slightly heavier than the 2012 MacBook Pro I'm used to lugging around, but it's much more powerful, although I wouldn't exactly throw this laptop on a train to play. Cyberpunk 2077. The Legion is comfortable enough that just pulling it out for a 15-minute job wouldn't be difficult, and it's not so cumbersome that spending an hour on your lap with it would be tiring. I was actually surprised at how comfortable I felt with it all. I could also use a ThinkPad. The Legion 5i Pro at the bottom has solid rubber legs designed to lift the device while resting on the table to allow the air flow to the cooling openings, which also exists at the bottom of the laptop. They can go into your thighs, affecting the comfort level when using it on their lap. But it also creates a slight resistance to stop the laptop from sliding, at least if you wear jeans. Heat wasn't an issue for me when I was using it for tasks like word processing or web browsing or even video streaming. I never experienced anything that made it uncomfortable to use. The Legion keyboard is just as comfortable. It has a low actuation speed and it was comfortable to write for long periods of time at odd angles. The keyboard also has a numeric keypad, a personal must, and to be honest, its inclusion surprised me. If you do a lot of data entry, it's a godsend. However, this comes at the cost of a notable gripe, the off-center trackpad. Sitting slightly left of center to allow for full numpad and arrow keys, the trackpad placement was one I've never quite gotten used to. To be clear, I completely disabled the touch functionality of the laptop touchpads in favor of hard left and right click. but because the trackpad is off-center, I'd find myself frequently clicking the right button accidentally and needing to move my arm into an uncomfortable position to make sure I could click the left button accurately. The only other significant issue I have with the device's design is the one that most other gaming laptops have: a big, bulky charger power brick that's the bane of your existence when you travel. Coming from a MacBook and its compact charger, it's a big sticking point. Often, I would leave the brick at home if I knew I was only going to use it for about a few hours while out and about. The battery life is adequate for this kind of use. These are relatively minor gripes in the face of an otherwise positive experience using the Lenovo Legion 5i Pro as a portable workstation. Lenovo Legion 5i Pro review: gaming performance. Testing the Legion as a work machine was useful and eye-opening. But of course, the chance to really put this machine through its paces as a video game machine with demanding graphics on was the thing I was really curious about. The Legion 5i Pro I tested had a GeForce RTX 3060 laptop GPU 6GB installed, and to be honest, I didn't expect it to perform as well as it did. Previously, my brain-associated NVIDIA XX60 series GPUs as well as notebook GPUs as lower power budget options. But laptop GPUs, and GPUs in general, have clearly come a long way over the past few years. The game I've spent the most time testing is Cyberpunk 2077 for obvious reasons. The game runs on a very taxing game engine and at launch had a reputation for only running smoothly on the highest high-end PC settings messy. Although it has been a few years now, its dense environment, coupled with real-time ray tracking and other post-processing effects, make it a very strict test to challenge any modern settings. Anyway, judgment. With an external mouse plugged in, and using the Legion 5i's lovely, built-in 2560x16:0 screen, a 1610 aspect screen that adds a little extra horizontal length compared to typical 16:9 screens, it was a great experience. When running at an uncapped frame rate, I largely hit an average of around 40 frames per second at high graphical setting presets. The Legion 5i Pro features NVIDIA G-Sync to match the screen's refresh rate to the action on screen, and it's also got a matte finish, so playing Cyberpunk in a few different scenarios, even outdoors in the shade, worked really well. This may not please everyone, mind you, there are plenty of performance-minded people out there who would prefer that everything run at a smooth 60 FPS. Sometimes at the cost of resolution. It's not me, I prefer sharper resolutions and I'm 100% fine with a constant 30 FPS, especially in single-player games. So for me the Legion 5i really manages to hit the sweet spot. Again, the 5i Pro is not the top model in the Legion series. You can choose to spend more for the RTX 3070 and the 5i Pro, or step up to the next model, the Legion 7i, which can be equipped with a more powerful GeForce RTX 3088GB, but at a cost that has increased significantly at the time of writing. The price has risen by almost $2,000 when taking into account current online discounts. Things weren't as impressive when I tried hooking up the Lenovo Legion 5i Pro to a 4 Kelvin monitor to see how things panned out there. The 5i struggled with this extra resolution bump, with Cyberpunk 2077 seconds frame rate dropping to an average of 20 FPS. Sometimes lower. This machine isn't a hassle-free way to play the latest blockbuster games at the highest possible standard. You'll have to invest far more money for that luxury, but that's an expected and reasonable outcome, and the performance is excellent for the price point. However, what's also to be expected is the incredible amount of noise the fans generate when playing something as demanding as Cyberpunk 2077. This is another inherent compromise you'll need to consider when relying on a gaming laptop. You'll absolutely need to play with a set of headphones, preferably with active noise cancelling to cut out the droning frequency. The Legion series has options to reduce unit noise, but this is at the cost of performance. The key to taking away is that Lenovo 5i Pro can drive as harsh things as Cyberpunk 2077 in a handsome way, which leaves a deep impression. Everything less demanding than that, which is virtually everything else I can think of at the time of writing, will work just as well, if not much better. I used the 5i to play several games for review and leisure purposes, including adventure games, strategy games, and other first-person shooters, and it held up fantastically, in many instances maintaining a high level of fidelity and a 60 FPS performance. Marvel's Spider-Man shines, as does God of War. I've played about 30 minutes of a dozen different games on Xbox Game Pass and nothing is suboptimal. At the request of the Lenovo representative, I also played the winemaking simulator 100 Days, which, of course, ran exceptionally well. For 95% of the games I typically play, the Legion 5i Pro handled itself very well. Lenovo Legion 5i Pro review, overall impressions. The thing to note is that you can't just judge a gaming laptop's performance by pushing it with the most demanding game you can think of, because you won't be playing those games most of the time. Not every game pushes its limits. The Legion i5 Pro's functionality is a comfortable, stylish and convenient work laptop, as well as being a more than capable gaming machine, make it a very strong option to combine several of your lifestyle needs into an enticing all-rounder. 4 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and support my channel.